record 74 degrees in 1990, minus 14 in 1962, minus 17 on Sunday in 1963. But there you go. That's it. See you Monday morning, and we'll have the Golden Waves grain guys on. So it'll be a fun show on Monday. Have a good weekend. The end.
Totals down there to the south of I-70. Heavier totals even further south of 3 to 8 inches will fall along highways 96 and in southwest Kansas where weather advisories are in place. But elsewhere it will be cloudy and colder with highs in the mid to upper 30s and north winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, skies clear. Winds will turn to the west-northwest around 10 miles per hour. Lows will drop into the teens. And tomorrow will be a bit windy. Northwest winds 15 to 20 miles per hour and start cold with wind chills around 0 in single digits. Then afternoon highs will rebound into the mid to upper 40s under sunny skies. Sunday temperatures will warm into the upper 50s, then warm further into the low to mid 60s for Monday and Tuesday. This is meteorologist Chris Schromick in the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The insurance agency. Insurance the way it should be.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pest Away in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pest Away today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
The holiday season just got brighter at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland. Wrap up the year with 0% for 36 months on all 2026 Chevrolet Trailblazer and Equinox models. Or slide into a new GMC, 1.9% for 36 months on a 26 Arcadia, plus up to $7,000 in rebates on a 26 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation with Turbo Max with eligible trade-in. Big savings, big style, and big holiday cheer. Only at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Stop in today or visit online at hurlchev.com.
At Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic, they believe in promoting healthier living through compassionate quality care. From state-of-the-art maternity care to life-saving emergency services, their dedicated team is there for you and your family. Whether it's managing diabetes, navigating recovery, or receiving specialized treatments, they're committed to your well-being. Discover the difference a community-focused hospital can make. Visit rayhospital.org today to learn more. Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic. Your health, our priority.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4!
It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
The amount of money getting thrown around to quarterbacks who haven't done diddly squat is amazing to me.
And Connor Schuh.
He's the new guy.
The High Plains only local sports talk show. Broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
Covering it all from the preps.
He's at the 10, the 5, he dives for the end zone. He's in! Touchdown, Cowboys!
To the pros.
Line drive, left field, base hit. Here comes McMahon. He'll score. Ball game.
The Blitz is presented by Hurl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. Along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the insurance agency, Pest Away LLC, Topside Portables and Pupping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakley.
Let's go to work.
Right corner, Humrick House breaks it wider as he buries the three from the deep right corner.
Up the middle, Lacey. He breaks in the clear. He may go. He's to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown. Ole Miss right up the gut.
Beck takes the snap. Quick pass to Tony on that tunnel. Has a screen at the 30-yard line. Out to the 25-yard line. Breaks a tackle to the 20, to the 10-5, and into the end zone. Touchdown. 36 yards to the outstanding freshman, Malachi Tony. Snap to Beck. Looking center of the field, nothing. Surveying has nothing. Now he's going to run for it at the 5, and Beck is into the end zone. Touchdown. 18 seconds to go, and Carson Beck game.
Happy Friday morning, everybody. It is the Morning Blitz on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and WKSradio.net, as well as the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream. Hope your day off to a good start. A chilly 26 outside the KKCI studios here in Goodland, on our way to a high of 37 on this Friday. Already been a very newsy Friday on the local sports scene side. A lot of postponements. I know Colby and Goodland are postponing their games till tomorrow. I actually don't know about Colby. I've heard a rumor that Colby, but I'm not seeing anything official about Colby postponing to tomorrow. But I've heard a rumor that is the case. Goodland is officially postponing their games from tonight until tomorrow, at least for basketball. I know there is. Here's how you break it down, Connor. This is how you break down this weather deal here. So you break it down by if your team is in the Northwest and you are traveling east or northeast, you're going to have an event today. If you're traveling or playing a team from the south or southeast or southwest, it's not happening today.
Right.
Simple as that. Simple as that is the way to put it. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't have you punched in there. What do you got?
Oh, I didn't really have much else to say except for, hopefully we can get rescheduled tomorrow or Sunday, because I feel like once you kind of get past that initial weekend, it gets pretty dicey to try and find a time to really fit that game in.
Oh, they'll get the game in. Trust me, especially since it's a league game. They'll find a way. One thing that does make it interesting, though, especially since this year they've allowed you to play more games. If you'd like to, you can play more games. It does create less opportunities to get games in if you do have a postponement. It's already hard trying to line up two different schedules to meet again at a time that wasn't previously scheduled. So I don't know. We'll see. But possibly, I've heard a rumor that Colby could be playing against Hugoton tomorrow. Goodland will be facing Ulysses here on Saturday, tomorrow evening and night. So yeah, that's what's on the docket here on this Friday for sport. There's plenty of local sports going on this weekend. We'll get to that coming up in today's program. We'll be talking a little NFL playoffs, the wild card round. We'll have our good friend from DNVR Broncos, Henry Chisholm, will join the show. Back-to-back Henrys on the Morning Blitz. Henry Greenstein yesterday, Henry Chisholm today, I should say. And then we will get to picks of the weekend as well. Connor's got his picks of the weekend ready to roll for us on the back end of the show. So that's the program for today. As always, F&B Bank text line open at 785-899-2222. So be a part of the program. Let us know through that. Once again, an update on the weather. Today, a 30% chance of snow, mainly before 2 p.m., but I've seen pretty much 0 to a trace is what we're going to see for snow, at least here in northwest Kansas. Now, could be a little blustery today. Winds could get up to around 30, which is why I think it's going to be pretty chilly. Tomorrow, temperatures in the mid to upper 40s and still a little windy with winds out of the northwest. And then Sunday, we'll have highs back around upper 50s. And then the return of the 60s and 50s for next week. I don't know when winter's going to start, if it will start. I don't know if it's going to happen.
Doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it may happen at all. So anyway, update on the forecast. Once again today, temperatures in the upper 20s, low 30s with a chance of some light snow, at least for our listening area. If you go further to the south, is where you're going to see more. And that's once again the reason why what we talked about off the top of the show, the postponements you're seeing for basketball and stuff with teams that are playing teams from the south, is that you're going to have to deal with that, and they don't want to travel in that, and it's understandably so. So anyway, let's get rolling on today's program. Last night, college football playoff had another grand one. Ole Miss was a part of another great football game. I mean, all the telecast crew, Herb Street and Fowler could talk about is, God, this is one of the best college football playoff games we've ever seen. It's kind of funny to me how in both games that Ole Miss has played in the last two times out is that they've been in a game where it's kind of like feel each other out for about three quarters. In the fourth quarter, the door opens up and the floodgates, here comes all the points, back and forth we go. Did you get a chance to watch much of that game last night?
I watched most of the end, and what I couldn't believe was how much space was available on the left side of the field for Carson Beck to run through when he scored the game-winning touchdown. I don't know how no one was accounting for that, because he basically walked in. That was crazy.
Yeah. It was that's what happens when you have a quarterback that you don't really probably consider to be a mobile threat on a consistent basis. So
Yeah.
you just kind of forget. You just kind of like, we got to worry about Malachi Tony. We got to worry about a back out of the backfield. We got to worry about this, got to worry about that. And you just forget that, the quarterback, he gets left alone and there he goes.
Yeah. And
it don't
he
take
went.
much of a burner to go score like he did.
I love the Carson Beck stat line here. 12 carries for -6 yards and 1 touchdown.
That's right.
Stack yards.
Yeah, see, that's what you get. And that's the thing. Throughout the course of the game, they had just bottled him up and sacked him quite a bit. They were more concerned about their ability to throw the ball deep. And so I'm guessing that was the last thing on the checklist for the defense was, if we're going to defend everybody, and they were all flooding to what would have been his right, left all alone and hit it was very well done on the part of Carson Beck to take advantage of that. And the thing is, Ole Miss still had a chance at the end there.
They almost.
They did. They got down the field in 2 plays with that one timeout, and they had 25 yards. And, there was a lot. I'm sure Ole Miss fans are mad this morning because, there was a lot of hand fighting between the defense and the offense on that last play. But, you know what? If it was me, I was thinking the whole time, if I would always have in my bag at least 2 or 3 plays as an offensive coordinator for ones where we get everybody going one direction and we run we throw a hook and ladder going back the other way. Like I always think about Boise State, Oklahoma, many years ago. Remember that with the play where they had the kind of the drag route, they hit him and then he just kind of lateraled it to the guy going the other way. And here they go. Then look, the quarterback was running beside him as kind of an extra pitch man in case they ran out of, it was so well designed. I just think like those kind of plays, you need to have like 3 or 4 in there because that would have been a perfect opportunity to pull one of those out. Perfect opportunity.
And for that play, that was one I wasn't really. I was around, but I don't think I was tuned into college football.
Go back and watch that.
Oh, I've seen it before. I've seen the replay plenty of times, and that's like a legendary play. But that now that you say that, I can see how that would have worked there, but. They had some big jump ball threats down there in the red zone, so I can see why they just aired it out. But I don't think Chambliss really threw the best ball to give his guy a chance to come down with that because it was a little over his head, kind of on the sideline. It would have been a tough play even if there wasn't contact.
Yeah. Well, anyway, last night, once again, a win for Miami, who's going back to the national championship game, 31-27. The final score last night. You heard Connor mention Carson Beck stats running. He was 23 of 37 for 268, 2 touchdowns and a pick. They ran the ball really good. 51 carries for 191. Miami is a team that is to an extent kind of old school. They're going to line up and just grade you into the ground if they can. They're going to physically pound you, and they did that again last night. Credit to Ole Miss. They came back in the fourth quarter with some really good showings there in the fourth. Trinidad Chambliss, 23 of 37. Same completion percentage as Carson Beck for 277 with a touchdown. Kewan Lacey, 11 carries, 103 yards. He had a long of 73 early in the second quarter, kind of dealt with some hamstring issues, but toughed it out. Great football game, back and forth, very entertaining. And the SEC is not going to be playing for a national championship for a 3rd consecutive year. Stop the Ponzi scheme.
It just means more. Come on.
It just means more. It's exactly right. So what are your thoughts on Miami? And this is going to be before your time, but Miami, of course, was a powerhouse for many years, including having some great teams in the very, very early 2000s and late 90s. And now they're finally back after pretty much a 24, 25-year hiatus in the national championship game.
Yeah, I got schooled on all that early stuff by my dad, especially with the national championship game against Ohio State over 20 years ago. And I mean, back then, obviously, that was the last time they were really they've still been a really, really good program since, but that's the last time they were really on the mountaintop. And now they're finally back, and I'd say they have a really good football team this year. I mean, you said it. They run the ball really well with Mark Fletcher. He's a great running back. Carson Beck he's seen it all. Now we're at the point where there's legit veterans in college football, in college basketball, wherever. And he's a 7-year veteran of college football, and he's been in the college football playoff before with Georgia. So He's seen everything. Nothing is going to surprise him from Oregon or Indiana in the championship game. And they have good receiving threats. Malachi Toney, of course. CJ Daniels is really good. And that defense, especially that front. I mean, they can win in a number of ways. So it'll be I like where they're going here.
Yeah, on the text line, Jared H. chimes in, was that a pass interference on the last play of the game? I don't think so, Jared, personally. I get there's a lot of hand fighting in that situation. It's kind of like if you heard the official on TV talk about it last night, he said, if you think about it, most of the time 99% of the time, we're not going to throw a flag in there because there's going to be a lot of hand fighting and stuff to get in position. And so we're just going to let that play out. It has to be pretty egregious for us to throw a flag.
And that rips a guy down or something.
Yeah, something like that. So a lot of hand fighting. I give the Miami defensive back credit. He was looking back for the football as he was doing all that. So that's what 75% of it if you're looking back for the ball. So anyway, entertaining game. Hopefully tonight's game is just as entertaining. Oregon and Indiana ought to be interesting. If there is one small bright spot to that is that I get to watch it. I probably wasn't going to get to watch that with basketball. So now I get to watch Oregon, Indiana tonight, which will be fun. But yeah, that'll be a very interesting game. Yeah. I think Indiana's 3.5-point favorites. You taking the Hoosiers?
Yeah. We'll find out later.
Oh, picks of the weekend. Very good. Thank you. Don't, there you go. Don't get ahead of yourself, Ross. Anyway, that was last night in the college football playoffs. So Miami awaits the winner of Oregon, Indiana tonight for our CFP championship game. That'll be played on January 19th. That is a week from this coming Monday. All right, let's transition into local sports. Once again, if you're just tuning in, that's probably the big news of the day to this point. It is that we're going to have, you might want to keep your social media and stuff up today and take a look and see there are some local basketball games happening tonight, but there are some that are not. Once again, as I said earlier in the program, if you are facing a team in our list, if a listening team in our area is facing a team from the South and the Southwest of part of Kansas, you're probably not going to be having a game today, more than likely. That's why Goodland and Colby, who are scheduled to play Ulysses and Hugoton, respectively, have postponed their games to a later date. We do know officially that Goodland will play Ulysses tomorrow night at the Max Jones Fieldhouse. I think girls will tip at 4:30 is what it is sounding like. And then you look at the rest of the slate. We don't know about Colby yet. We'll see. I've heard rumors on something, but I want to wait until we see it officially on when they will reschedule. Some games that probably will get played today. We'll go through this. I think we'll have Wheatland Grinnell hosting Logan Palco, Hoxie hosting Scott City, Quinter going to Dighton, Oakley at Plainville, St. Francis hosting Idalia, Colorado, Cheyenne at Northern Valley, Golden Plains at Western Plains, Rollins County will host Wallace County at the Colby Event Center, Weskin will host Tri-Plains Brewster. And then there's actually 3 games on Saturday, too. Weskin going to Wiley, Colorado, possibly with the weather, we'll see. And then Quinter versus Hanover at Salina South High School. Interesting game scheduled there. And then Golden Plains hosting Decatur Community. Speaking of Decatur Community, they played last night at Dundee County Stratton up there in Binkelman, Nebraska, and it was sweep for Dundee County Stratton. Decatur Community losing 72-50 in the girls' game, and in the boys' game, Dundee County Stratton getting it done 56-45. So a couple of wins there for the Tigers of Dundee County Stratton over Decatur Community. So there's your basketball slate for you this weekend. Once again, some of it could be up in the air. There is plenty of wrestling this weekend as well. Starting with last night, Decatur Community had a double duel up in Nebraska. They lost to Hitchcock County at 42-36, but beat Southwest 60-6. And then plenty of tournaments this weekend. St. Francis goes to a tournament up there in at Dundee County for a wrestling tournament. Oakley boys and girls competing at the Rossville tournament. Girls today, boys on Saturday. Norton has their big invitational, which is where like Rollins County, Goodland, Decatur Community will all be competing. That is girls today on Friday and then boys on Saturday. It's a 2-day deal. Same thing once again in Dodge City with their tournament. Hoxie and I think Colby girls are going to that. Girls today, boys on Saturday. Then if you've got Colby boys going to compete at the Salina South Wrestling Invitational on Saturday. And then there is some Some JUCO wrestling, Fort Hays Tech Northwest and CCC at the NJCAA coaches duels at Miami, Oklahoma, not Miami, as I've been corrected, but Miami. And then Fort Hays Tech Northwest women wrestling up at Chadron, Nebraska at the CSU Open on Saturday. So, and then of course we can't forget about Fort Hays Tech Northwest men's and women's basketball hosting Colby Community College. That's going to be on Saturday. They've moved that up an hour. That will start at noon Mountain Time. It has been moved up an hour to noon Mountain Time to help accommodate the basketball being played afterwards. That's going on. So anyway, that has been moved up to noon. It was scheduled to start at 1 Mountain. It has been moved to noon Mountain Time with the women, followed by the men, and then there will be basketball that night with the high school following that up. So.
Quadruple header right there.
Yeah, quadruple header of basketball there at the Max Jones Fieldhouse. The floor will feel it.
Yes, I'm sure.
Anyway, that is your local sports slate and what's all going on. Once again, if it was me, I would be kind of scrolling social media, checking nwksradio.net, the closing and cancellations page, as we'll keep that update as best we can with things that are getting moved around and shuffled, and we'll make the best adjustments that we can. But that would be the best place to go for our events, because I'm assuming, once again, if like that Dodge City Wrestling Invitational possibly could be canceled or postponed because of the weather that could be going through there. We'll have to wait and see. Haven't heard anything on it yet, but we'll have to wait and see. So I'd keep refreshing if I was everybody out there. So there you go. That's the local sports. Before we go, let's real quickly. We know that Colby and Hugoton were scheduled to play. They might play on Saturday, possibly. Any thoughts on that doubleheader of hoops between Hugoton and Colby? Battle of the Eagles?
Yes. It's interesting because each team has the same record. Each boys team is 6-2, and each girls team is 4-4. And it's kind of hard to see where things are going to go, but Hugoton, both teams seem like they're pretty formidable, like they're going to be tough teams in the GWAC like most of the conference. And they only have one common opponent, and that's Ulysses. And the Colby girls have played them twice, 1-1. But Hugoton just played them earlier this week, and their girls team beat up on them by 29 points, 52-23. And then on the boys' side, I think they fared similarly well. It was a little bit closer. Final for that one was 43-41. So Colby boys beat Ulysses earlier this year by almost the same margin. So if that tells me anything, that tells me it's going to be a close game on both sides, I think.
Yeah, I think one thing about Ulysses, particularly, I know a girls' side, they've got some very athletic guards and they like to pressure. So if you're Colby, you're going to want to be good in your press break. That's what I've seen in the past, and I think they continue to do that with some pretty athletic guards for Hugoton on the girls' side. Boys' side, Hugoton always has great athletes. I don't think they don't have the numerous amounts that they've had in previous years playing basketball, but they always have some really good athletes. And they'll be a handful for anybody that faces them. They play a very fast, up and pace style as well.
I was gonna say, yeah, I've heard they're very quick, and I feel like that's a theme with a lot of teams in the GWAC.
Every game in the GWAC, as Coach Dawson Rimmer would say, it's a war. It's what we call it. It's a war, which is what I expect Goodland boys to kind of face on Saturday against Ulysses. They've already played the Tigers once this year in the third place game of the topside tip-off tournament, and it was a close game. Ulysses made a lot of shots. Julian Mraz made a lot of shots, had 24
He's good.
points. He's a very good player. Second team all-league. Very good player. But I've always been – I got to give Ulysses a lot of credit. I think they've won maybe 23 games the last 5 years. Haven't won a lot. But Coach Matt Cox has done a great job with that program. He's a very, I think, underrated coach in this league. He's done a really good job of bringing that program along. He's got some nice young players that are, I'm talking more like your sophomores and juniors that are coming up that play with Mraz. They're a good team. I mean, they've lost 3 GWAC games this year, Connor, by a combined 7 points.
Wow.
7 points total. They've lost their 3 GWAC games by. So they are right there banging on the door. And so if you don't come with your A game, you're probably going to get beat by Ulysses team that Goodland has owned for pretty much since 2019. So the Cowboys are going to have to bring their A game against Ulysses. They're going to be bringing it. They're going to be out for blood after that close loss, back in early December. On the girls' side, Goodland's got a lot of momentum following that win against Hugoton. and they're getting some love for it. I saw even on Sports in Kansas. So they're getting some love for that win over Holcomb and how dominant they were. Now they're going to have to take care of business against Ulysses, which is a team they're going to be a lot bigger than. But Ulysses is Bill Bierman has always said Ulysses scares me because they don't have a they just kind of go out there and they don't have any. It's just we're going to go out and shoot it, wherever we're chuck it. And if it goes in, it's trouble.
They just play ball. It's like
yeah,
pickup.
Yeah. So they kind of go out there and they play a little hectic and they cause some pressure. They don't have much size. They're quicker, but they shoot a lot of outside shots. So we'll see. I still think though the Goodland Cowgirls have won the last 10 or 11 meetings against Ulysses by an average of 35 points. So as long as the Cowgirls don't go out there and completely the bed, they'll be fine. They should be fine. But that's what I expect to see on Saturday. There you go. Local sports for you in some high school hoops. Once again, the big news: no Colby, no Goodland basketball tonight. Postponed for Goodland to tomorrow. We will find out more on Colby. Might even find out more during the break. I'll do some searching and see if I can find something. But we'll take a break.
Refreshing Facebook, so I got you.
Nothing yet. Connor Schuh's on it. So as he has said, nothing new. We'll break in with breaking news when we hear that information. So anyway, we will take a timeout. When we get back, we're going to talk some NFL playoff football with Henry Chisholm, DNVR Broncos, talking about the playoffs, talking about the Broncos going into that playoff game. We'll get to that all next here on a Friday edition of the Morning Blitz.
The holiday season just got brighter at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland. Wrap up the year with 0% for 36 months on all 2026 Chevrolet Trailblazer and Equinox models. Or slide into a new GMC, 1.9% for 36 months on a 26 Arcadia, plus up to $7,000 in rebates on a 26 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation with Turbo Max with eligible trade-in. Big savings, big style, and big holiday cheer. Only at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Stop in today or visit online at hurlchev.com.
Need a porta potty or septic pumping in Northwest Kansas? Call Topside Portables and Pumping, your local family-owned crew. They've got clean, reliable toilets for weddings, farms, and job sites, plus full septic services, RV waste, fertilizer tanks, and more. Available 24/7, because when nature calls, they answer. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. Reliable, local, clean.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning. This is Tyler Ghosh with the Andersons in Overland Park, Kansas with your morning market update. It is Friday, January the 9th. Overnight sessions have commodities set to open mixed. The March corn is down 3/4 cent at 4.45 1/4. The May is down a penny at 4.53, and December is down 1/2 cent at 4.64. Beans on the March are up 5 cents at 10.66 1/4. The May is up 4 3/4 at 10.78. The Nova is up 5 cents at 10.78. Kansas City wheat on the March is down 1 1/2 at 5.28 3/4. The May is down 2 at 5.41. July wheat down 2 at 5.54 1/2. Chicago wheat on the March is down a penny at 5.17. The May is down a penny at 5.28, and the July is down 1 as well at 5.40. S&P 500 is up 23 points at 6,985. Dow is up 144 points at 49,637. Nasdaq up 110 points at 25,797. Crude oil is up 51 cents a barrel at $58.27. Gold is up $29 an ounce at 4,489, and silver is up $3 an ounce at 78.14. If you have any cash grain you'd like to move or want to learn more about our freedom pricing tools, reach out and give us a call. You can reach myself, Tyler Ghosh, Jared Law, or Tom Saludo at 913-748-3000. If you're out in Colorado, give John Hankey or John Stiles a call at 970-744-4484.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
markets, ag news, and information, or call them today at 785-462-3351. That's 462-3351. Continuing to stand with you is the High Plains Co-op.
Want to be part of the Morning Blitz?
Sometime I'll give you a piece of my mind, like right now.
Send your thoughts to the F&B Bank text line at 785-899-2222.
I don't know if it's the weather or something that is going on this week, but just had bad luck with guests. Henry not picking up, so we're going to have to just push through. We'll see if he calls us back. It's a little ahead of schedule. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Here's how this all went down. This is what happens when Ross does the guest booking. I searched for the Henry in my phone. I wanted to talk to Henry Greenstein. I got a hold of Henry Chisholm accidentally, and he goes, "Yeah, I'll join the show." And I'm like, "Oh man, I wanted to talk to Henry Greenstein." So I moved him back to Friday and had Henry come in because he couldn't do Friday. Henry Greenstein, so he could do Thursday. So I just flipped him. I made it work, but I think Henry's not answering his phone right now. So unfortunately, I'm not talking much NFL playoffs, at least at this point in time. So we'll have to pivot again. It seems like we always do this with the picks of the weekend. Tuesday, we struggled to get our guest on, I think due to a train. But we pivoted to a picks of the weekend recap. So, Mr. Schuh, I guess the floor is yours. Let's get to our picks of the weekend.
Sounds good. And this is a bit of a weird one, just because this might be one of the first times we've had no regional football to speak of. It's really only basketball in this one that we're looking at. So we got some good college hoops on deck. We've got some good NFL on deck, of course. And I've got a little bit more college basketball sprinkled in there just for fun, because that's what we're doing today. And that's where we're at in a couple less picks.
You are our host of picks of the weekend. There is so you get to take us where we go. Once again, last week you were the winner by a couple games.
By, I think, a single game. I was 6-7 last week, and you were 5-8.
There you go.
Last week's.
And that was the reset. Picks. So that was the first week of picks of the new year. And
So we're back to square one. I'm up by one. It's a very slim margin right here. So we're doing what we can. And I'm actually ad-libbing a pick right now. I'm making a quick change because I wanted to shoehorn something in there that I didn't think of until now. But we're going to get this started out right now with the Rams at the Panthers. Rams favored by 10.5 on the road. Over-under is 45.5.
A lot of me wants to take LA to take the B to the A. But, the travel across the country, playing a whole lot. What time is that kickoff again?
Let me check. I don't have it up right here.
I'm going to pull it up here. I got it. Let's see here. NFL schedule. That is a 2:30. It's a 2:30 Mountain, which means it's a 12:30. Sorry, that's actually a 4:30 over there, but that'd be
4:30.
12:30 kickoff for LA. I think that's, if it was a little bit earlier, I'm going to take LA covering the 10.5.
Okay. All right. I see where you're at, but come on, we're in Carolina, and in this little studio here, we believe in Bryce Young. So we're going to say the Panthers at least cover this one.
Okay. I'll take Rams covering the 10.5.
Okay.
The most dominant, lopsided game, I think, of the weekend, possibly. So, anyway.
It's a fair assessment. This next one, probably, at least for me, now that I've thought about it a little more, probably the most fun game of the weekend. Packers-Bears in the playoffs. You don't usually get that. Packers favored by 1.5 on the road in Soldier Field. 44.5 is the over-under.
I was trying to remember what happened last week, the last couple times these teams have played. Let's see. They met. It was a loss for the Bears at Green Bay, but a win at home against Green Bay. Golly. I'm going to take the home crowd to get it done. Give me Bears cover. It's pretty much a pick game. So give me Bears cover.
And this is essentially the same thing, but I'm going to have the Bears winning.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
chances are they don't lose by a point. It doesn't typically happen, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know, I guess. So
We'll find out.
I think the Bears are going to get it done. I don't know. Maybe if Green Bay was a little bit more healthy. I think they've been banged up with some injuries, obviously.
Well, here's the question. Is Jordan Love going to be back? I think he's supposed to return.
I would assume he will be.
Yeah, because he missed a couple of games there with injuries, so some concerns about Russ. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm going to take Chicago to be able to get that done here in the wild card. But Bears.
Okay. I'm sticking there as well. Bills at the Jags. This is a similar one. Bills favored by 1.5 on the road. 51.5 is your over-under.
Bills at Jags. Let's see here. Gosh. I think my heart says I should go with Jacksonville here just because I think they're interesting. But my head says Josh Allen knows that this is his year. Everyone's been telling him it, and he knows it. So I'm going to take Buffalo. I'm just going to take Buffalo to win. It's once again another pick'em game, so I'll just take Buffalo to win.
Okay, I'm gonna fade you on this one and say the Jags win.
Oh.
Let's go Jacksonville. I'm believing in T-Law. He's won a playoff game before. That defense is nasty. They're gonna end Josh Allen's Super Bowl hopes. Maybe.
What a storyline that would be.
That'd be a lot of fun.
In multiple facets.
Year one, Liam Cohen. He's
That'd
the man.
be amazing.
Niners at Eagles. Philly favored by 5.5 at home. 44.5 is your over-under.
I'm going to say San Francisco covers the 5.5.
Okay.
I don't know. Something about we've talked about it, I think, yesterday on the Power 5. Philadelphia's offense is just not dynamic enough, I don't think, to pull away from anybody. Now, their defense can keep it low scoring enough. They're going to be good enough defensively, but I still think San Francisco finds a way to put some points up there. So give me San Francisco to cover the 5.5 on the road at Philly.
I think I'm there with you on this one. I believe in the Niners a little bit more, but I feel like the Eagles are going to be able to hold them off a little bit. I think the Niners are going to make it like a 3-point game. It's going to be close, but the Eagles might be able to ground and pound enough to just eke out a win. I guess we'll see. It's a tough one. It's the playoffs. These are hard ones to pick.
Yep, it's hard.
Chargers at Pats. Patriots favored by 3.5 at home. 45.5 is your over-under.
Patriots smash. Yeah, they win big. Patriots win. Cover the 3.5. Pats.
Yeah, I agree.
It's going to be cold. It's not going to be pretty weather. This weather that we're seeing right now it'll be there by Sunday. Pats smash.
I think it's been snowing up there recently too, and I agree with you because the Chargers they might be the next weakest team in the playoffs next to the Panthers, and I just don't know if they have the juice, honestly, but they could surprise. We'll find out, but I agree with you. Pats cover. This next one, final NFL game, the playoff slate, Monday night, Texans at the Steelers. Texans favored by a flat 3 points in the lowest over-under of any game, 38.5.
38.5 points.
Yeah.
I've got Houston winning this game. Sorry, Bill Bierman. Bill Bierman, huge Steelers fan. Shout out to Bill. But I'm going to take Houston here. I do not trust Pittsburgh right now. I think Houston's defense will slow down that Steelers offense, and I don't think the Pittsburgh defense is as good as it's been in the past and even just previous years. And I think Houston's offense has found some footing here ever since a really bad start. I mean, 30 consecutive losses to Rams, Bucks, and Jags, who, those were 2 out of 3 of those are playoff teams, and one of them was on the cusp of being a playoff team. But their offense has found a lot of things here recently, and so I think they shut down and they win that one. So give me Houston.
Okay.
Sorry.
To win or cover?
I'm going to get to the cover. Houston covers 3.
And again, I think I got to say I agree with you. I mean, I believe in my guy, C.J. Stroud. Their defense is too good, and the Steelers they don't have the juice like they used to. Their defense isn't as good as it typically is. They're kind of middle of the pack towards the bottom this year. And Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he's obviously a great playoff performer in his history, but this is a 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers. And with Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter teeing off on the edges, I think that might be just not what he's looking for. He's a lame duck in the pocket, and he's going to get killed. Texans cover.
Michael on the FE Bank text line, 785-899-2220. He says, Herbert's going to wreck shop in that Chargers defense. They're going to get some.
Okay.
You're just hoping that, Michael, so that they get the low seed, so that, they're the 7th seed, and that means they would face probably face the Broncos. That's what you're hoping for. And you're really hoping it for the fact that they knock the Patriots out, because that's the team that scares you the most, Michael. Just admit your true feelings. That's your true feelings. You're afraid of the Patriots. That's why you're afraid, and you hope that they do that.
I think everyone is.
I would be. They're pretty solid. Pretty solid is
definitely.
All right, it's picks of the weekend here on the Morning Blitz. What's next, Connor?
We got number 5, Oregon versus number 1, Indiana. Peach Bowl, CFP semis. Indiana favored by 3.5. 48.5 is your over-under.
I am comparing Indiana football to Nebraska basketball. For some reason, just because of history, I cannot get behind them. So I'm going to take Oregon in the bounce back. They got beat earlier this year, 30-20. I think Oregon gets it done this time against IU.
Interesting. Okay.
I know it sounds ridiculous. And if Indiana wins, more power to them. More power to them. SIGs, all that stuff. But my gut, my fibers in my body say, I think Oregon's going to get this done. I think Oregon's going to find a way to win this game.
Okay. Suit yourself. I'm riding the hot hand. I'm going IU, Kurt Signetti, Fernando Mendoza, and company.
If Indiana wins this game, I think they crush Miami.
Ooh.
You want to know why I think that?
Why is that?
Because what is one thing Indiana does so well? They do not make mistakes.
I was going to say everything.
They are so good at not making mistakes. And what does Miami seem to do a lot of? Make a lot of mistakes. Like holding penalties at bad opportune times and stuff. I mean, they probably could have won that game last night, maybe by a little bit more comfortability, if they hadn't shot themselves in the foot so much. They still got it done. If they got to face Indiana a week from this coming Monday, curtains, Hoosiers for a natty. But I think it's Oregon. Yeah. I think it's Oregon that gets it done tonight.
Okay. All right. I will, again, go the other way. Indiana. So we'll see who gets this one. Oregon, I'm not going to say they don't have a shot. It's definitely possible. But we're going to move on. I threw the Nuggets a little bit of love.
The Nuggets!
And something we didn't talk about because, well, you're not an NBA guy, so we aren't talking about this too much, but I'm going to bring it to the program today.
You have more than enough power to do that.
The Hawks and the Nuggets, only a 1.5 point spread for a basketball game, which is especially an NBA game. Don't usually see that. The Hawks just traded Trae Young away.
Is McCollum playing for the Hawks?
Yes, I think so. Trae Young, I don't think he's playing for the Wizards, but that doesn't matter for this pick'em. And then the Nuggets are missing Jokic, and a game ago they were missing Jamal Murray as well, and they played a team of almost all G Leaguers, and they got a win. So, can they beat the Hawks without Trae Young, who have been winning a lot without Trae Young? What do you think?
Why not? I'm going with the Nuggets. They're the better basketball team overall. And if the Hawks are going to be without CJ McCollum, which I'm guessing they might be, but I'm still going to take the Nuggets. Murray's got to step up for Denver. Murray's got to do more. They need more from other guys. They need Murray to step up and get some more big-time stuff. They need more from Christian Brown, the former KU guy. They need more from Aaron Gordon, although all these guys are dealing with day-to-day stuff. I mean, they got to get more out of those guys. But Denver, don't forget, folks, despite it's still 25-12.
They're in a fine spot.
They're in a good spot. I think they win. So give me the Nuggets.
The Hawks have a lot of firepower outside of what was coming from Trae Young. They got Jalen Johnson. He's having a breakout season, and their team's really coming together nicely. I like the Hawks on the road, beating the Nuggets. Now, we're going to get
Brian says Nuggets are scrappy on the FB Bank text line. Nuggets are scrappy.
They definitely are. They've got some dudes there, and they could easily just steal another game against a better team, or in terms of better than the taxi squad Nuggets, we'll call them here. But
Taxi squad.
it's true. It's true. We'll get to some college basketball before we go. A few regional ones, then a couple of wild cards I've got. These are all pick'ems just because the nature of this, they don't have the spreads out for 2 days later for these games. So, first one, Nebraska, number 10 in the nation on the road at IU, who's like a bubble team at this point.
You know where I'm going. Indiana.
Wow. You're doubting your own guys.
I love my Huskers, but this formula has worked. You don't broke what's not fixed. IU wins at home. They need it more than Nebraska does. Assembly Hall will be rocking. This is not one of those games where Nebraska goes in on a cold, chilly Thursday night on BTN. And no, this is a Saturday. I mean, Saturday morning does make a little sleepier, but I still think IU needs, they don't have a win against a quad one squad, does Indiana. They need this badly. Nebraska, by the way, has got the most impeccable quad one record, I think, of anybody. It's them and Duke are both best quad one records.
I think they have like six
quad
something
one
like
wins
that,
or
which
something
is
like that. Yeah, they're nuts.
a lot at this point.
Yeah,
But
so I'm taking Indiana to win this one close over Nebraska.
I've got Nebraska. This is just like the game at Ohio State. You're going to a team that needs the win, but Nebraska, I think, is just too good. And I understand every road game in the Big Ten is a tough game, as we've seen. But Ohio State just disproved that and beat Oregon by 10 last night, by the way. I'll just throw that out there. But
Oregon is not what they've been. Ooh.
I know they're horrible this year.
Dana Altman, who I love, might be done. He might be
It might be his twilight. I can see that. But I got Nebraska winning this one.
Question. Who's better in a matchup right now, Indiana or Ohio State?
They're kind of in the same tier right now, but I take Ohio State by a hair. More physical and I less deep, I think. But that starting lineup is better.
Nebraska better hope their three-point shooting shows up, because if not, it could be a long day. Wilkerson hit 10 threes in a game for Indiana at one point.
Yeah, he can shoot it.
They can light it up from the outside. So they can match Nebraska on the three-point shooting.
Yeah, if you stop him and Tucker DeVries, you're good. Next one,
He's so old. Have you seen a picture of Tucker DeVries? The guy is an old man.
Yeah, he not a college guy, but he is. Number 22, Kansas at West Virginia. Now, this is one where there might be a little more questions, but what do you think?
Shout out, by the way, West Virginia, former Goodland grad, former Northwest Tech men's basketball coach, Jace Hurl, assistant coach there at West Virginia. They've had a tough time getting the team going there for West Virginia. Kansas, of course, do we know, is Darren Peterson going to play or not? West Virginia, by the way, Morgantown, a very difficult place to play, a ruckus crowd and a big arena. Oh, I think I'm going to go with KU on the road. I think they pull it out, but just barely.
Okay. I got, you know what? I'm just going to have some fun and say West Virginia upsets. They have a kid from Hoxie, Harlan Obioha.
That's right.
Playing for them right now, too.
Harlan Obioha's there.
There you go.
About that.
7-footer from Hoxie. So there you go. And then finally, the last local-ish game, Kansas State at Arizona State. This is really one that I think can just go either way.
I think K-State's more desperate. I think they get it done.
Okay.
Taking Wildcats.
I will go the same way. K-State with the win. We got two more. First one, LSU at number 11 Vanderbilt, who are just ripping through everybody.
Vandy.
Yeah, I agree. That's not too hard of a pick. LSU is they're all right. And then finally, Tennessee, number 21 in the nation, visiting the defending national champs, Florida, but not quite as good as they were last year.
I'll take Florida at home.
I think I'm on the same wavelength here. Home court advantage is big. That's your picks.
Don't have to throw this in. Colorado hosts Texas Tech, 5 Mountain Time on CBS Sports Network.
I keep shading Colorado. That's on me.
Buffs or Red Raiders?
Texas Tech easily.
I have to admit, I'm fascinated to see if Colorado can pull this off. They've played really well at home, but I think Texas Tech is probably going to get it done as well. I would agree. Yeah,
I'm going to throw that in real quick.
Okay, throw her in. Picks of the weekend here on the Morning Blitz.
really enjoy the picks of the weekend. All right, let's get to a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the show with our final segment here and wrap up a week here on the Morning Blitz.
New year, new luck. Start 2026 with a home refresh from Office Works and Home Furnishings in Colby. Discover the area's best selection of Lazy Boy furniture, Serta and Justice beds, and so much more. Stop by the showroom on South Range and find your perfect fit today.
Hi, this is Sheriff Chad Mann. Your Sherman County Sheriff's Office reminds you we're here for you day and night. Call us if you need us. We're your neighbors, proudly serving Sherman County.
Rip's worn out and it needs replaced. Who you gonna call?
Roof Masters! Roof Masters Roofing at Colby has been your premier roofing contractor for over 40 years, offering free estimates on all types of roofs, as well as seamless rain gutters and vinyl siding. So give us a call today. What's that number, Jake?
462-6642. I think you better call
Roof Masters!
For over 20 years, LNC Home Health Agency has been providing quality care to the residents of Northwest Kansas. This year is no different, as LNC Home Health's professional staff will travel to your loved one's home and take care of them with care and compassion. Happy New Year from LNC Home Health Agency.
Let's face it, many of us plan our vacations down to the hour, the activities, the food we want, and the people we'll see. So why not save our family the grief and stress when we leave this world? Why not inquire about rearranging our funeral and celebration of life? Call Coons Russell Funeral Home in Goodland for their assistance. They've made it so much easier on families in times of stress. Call or visit CoonsRussellFuneralHome.com.
Another holiday season marks another year coming to a close. For all of the significant life events that happen throughout the year, keep Zimbelman's Jewelry in mind. Visit Zimbelman's Jewelry in Burlington to pick out the perfect gift for all of your special moments.
And back lifts his ball high and deep to right. How about a walk-off three? Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes swings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
As we wrap up the show today, interesting. Did you see the story? Have you followed that story more about Damon Williams up there at Washington?
He's back.
He's back.
Incredible.
What do you think that locker room is going to be like?
I think it'll be fine in the long run after he ended up returning, because all those guys are kind of in the same boat. I'm sure they all want to get paid. So I think there's some level of understanding there of what he was doing. So it might create some rifts with some guys, but I think it'll be okay in the end.
Yeah, we will see on what happens there. LSU still in search of a quarterback with Lane Kiffin there in the portal. So
good.
I'm kind of surprised Austin Simmons, the Ole Miss backup, didn't go down there.
But he's probably getting a look from there.
He's going to Missouri. I
totally missed that.
He is signed to go to Missouri. Is there a portal move that you've seen that you're just like, wow, that's amazing? Or anything that stood out to you during the portal? Besides the Damon Williams thing, I would guess.
Nothing that has surprised me too much. I can't believe I'm blanking on this, but I think the big thing that surprised me, it kind of comes from my home, Ohio State. A lot of the young receivers that were going to get starting reps, or at least more reps next year, have transferred. We had a couple 5-stars that just vanished after their redshirt freshman years, and they were in line to get legit like number 3, number 4 reps next year, but they don't want to stick around.
That's not what's going to happen. It's the spreading out of talent. You're not seeing Ohio State, the Alabamas. They're not stockpiling talent anymore. Now it's getting spread out, and you're seeing other teams playing for national championships, like Miami back there, possibly Indiana or Oregon. That game is on tonight on ESPN. I look forward to getting to watch that. Once again, no high school basketball tonight for Goodland or Colby. Goodland's been postponed to Saturday. We're waiting on what happens for Colby. For Connor Schuh, I'm Ross Volkmer. Have a great weekend. It's been the Blitz.
Classic rock.